In this video, we're learning about weathering and erosion. So we'll cover how water moves both on land and underground, how water causes weathering of rocks, and finally, how water causes erosion and changes surface features. Let's start by looking at water's movement on land and underground. When rain or snow falls onto Earth's surface, the water takes several different paths. Some flows across the land surface as runoff, creating streams and rivers that carry water downhill due to gravity. This surface water flow is one of the main ways that water shapes the Earth's surface. When water, like rainwater, seeps underground, it moves more slowly than water on the surface because it's moving through tiny spaces between soil particles and through cracks in rocks. We call this underground water groundwater, and it flows from these areas where it's seeped underground to areas where it can exit to the surface again, like through springs or wetlands. As water moves underground, it can pass through and dissolve certain types of rock, and over thousands to millions of years, this creates spaces underground like caves. In these cave systems, mineral-rich water creates a few interesting features. Stalactites that hang from ceilings, stalagmites that build up from floors, and columns where they meet in the middle. Water can also create sinkholes, which are surface depressions that form when underground spaces collapse, and aquifers, which are underground water reservoirs vital for humans and ecosystems. Next, let's look at how water causes weathering of rocks, which happens in two main ways: freeze-thaw weathering and chemical weathering. Freeze-thaw weathering happens when water enters cracks in rocks. When that water freezes into ice, it expands, so it takes up more space than when it was a liquid, which means that it pushes against the sides of the cracks and makes the cracks bigger. When the ice melts, water goes even deeper into the cracks. This happens over and over again, making the cracks wider and wider until eventually the rock breaks. Water also causes chemical weathering though, because rainwater contains dissolved carbon dioxide, which makes it slightly acidic. When it passes through rocks, this acidic water can react with certain minerals within the rocks, and so breaks the rocks down. For example, limestone can be slowly dissolved by acidic rainwater, although this happens over very long periods of time. Next, let's explore how water causes erosion and changes surface features. Erosion is different from weathering. It happens when bits of rock and soil are slowly worn away and removed from where they started. For example, when rain falls on a mountain, the rain gradually wears down the rock's surface and washes away tiny pieces, which are carried down the mountain. Over a long time, this can change the shape of the mountain and create new landforms, like valleys or canyons. The power of moving water can pick up and transport materials ranging from tiny clay particles to large boulders. As water flows over the land, it creates distinctive features. For instance, rivers carve valleys and gorges, rainwater creates gullies on hillsides, and the Grand Canyon was formed as the Colorado River cut deeper into rock layers over millions of years. When rivers are moving fast, they have lots of energy to pick up and carry rocks, sand, and soil. But when they slow down, they lose energy and have to drop what they've been carrying, and as a result, they deposit the eroded material elsewhere. This happens when rivers reach the sea or large lakes, where they dump sediment to form deltas. Deltas are just triangular or fan-shaped areas of land built up from deposited sediment, like the Nile Delta. This process also happens during floods though, when rivers overflow their banks and deposit layers of sediment across flat areas called floodplains. Through this process, rivers constantly reshape the landscape by picking up material from one place through erosion and dropping it off somewhere else.
If you haven't heard yet, you can find all of our videos on our website, cognito.org. You'll also find questions, flashcards, exam-style questions, and past papers. And we track all of your progress so that you always know what to study next. So sign up for free by clicking here, or browse our playlist here on YouTube.